Okay folks, Brian here from North Wing Garage. This is what we got today. We got a 2014 Subaru Outback, and we got to do a rear wheel bearing assembly in it. That's what it looks like. So we're going in. Okay, we're going to have to remove these brakes, this rotor, and that spindle, and we'll see what else. So I'm just going to remove the entire brake caliper assembly, and that is a 14mm socket. I'm going to have to find a socket that'll fit that axle nut. And we're just going to set this brake caliper assembly up here and put a piece of wire on it, or a wire tie or something of that sort, so it doesn't fall down and break the brake line. Okay, so this has fairly new brakes on it, so I don't want to damage anything. Essentially, if I was replacing the brakes at the same time, I wouldn't worry about that. But we don't want to create any more damage than that's already here with the bad bearing. So I'm going to take, this is just a piece of concrete wire. I'm going to just take and wire this up so it doesn't fall down and damage the hose here. So there we are with that. You can see how bad this bearing is. See it wiggling. A lot of movement to that, and that should not be. So I'm going to get some PB blaster in there. Okay folks, so what I have here is a metric bolt that there's two holes here to remove this rotor with. I should have two bolts, but going through my stuff there, I can't seem to find another one, so I can see it moved instantly. And these are fairly new, so the previous owner put these on. There, it's moving, so I'm just going to leapfrog this bolt back and forth because I don't have two. Got to make do with what you got. And there you have it, folks. So if we'd let this go too much longer, it would have destroyed that new rotor, which is also a brake drum for your parking brake. So it serves two purposes. Okay folks, so this is a metric car, but 1 1/4 inch fits that perfectly. So whatever that conversion rate is, let me know in the comments. I'm using what I have. I'm going to give it a little PB blaster here. So this is the inner spline portion of the axle here. So there's 4 bolts in the back of this bearing assembly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in there or not, but it's really tight. All right, that wasn't too bad. That one wasn't. All right, let's see here if I can get in here. If I can get this little gadget in here. They don't seem that tight in here. That one was not tight. They were not that tight in there. Weird. All right, let's see. Get this one out. This little guy just don't have enough power to break it loose. Maybe I can get in there with the big one. Okay folks, so this is what it looks like from behind. You got to be able to get your bolts there, and that one I already got out. Then there's one up top here. So I'm just kind of giving you a look-see of what I'm doing behind here. You just kind of use whatever you got to be able to get in there. I sprayed some PB Blaster on there to try and loosen it up. And here I go. There's 2. There's 2 down. It's definitely easier when you're up under here and you can see what you're doing. All right, so there's one in there that is just kind of hard to get to. And I broke it free with the breaker bar, so I'm able to get it with a 3/8 drive wrench. So we'll just get that one by hand, see where we stand with the thing. Boy, that is loose. The salesman told me, oh, you can't tell without putting them on the lift. Well, I got right down there and I wiggled that wheel with this car on the ground and you could hear it shucking around. So, plus I could hear it going down the road. So, don't always listen to the salesman. All right. Now, I wonder if I can break that loose with a good hammer. Okay folks, so I'm just gonna see, it looks like I might have to take the brakes off. It don't even look like it's moved. So I'm looking at this machine surface here, and that goes in there a good 7/8, maybe 1 inch or so. How the heck did you get that out of there? Okay folks, so we're gonna have to take off this brake assembly just so we can get in there and I'm not damaging anything while I'm working on it. These things have just like a nail that goes through the hole, and it goes through one way and then locks into that little divot there. It's kind of like a modified nail that goes through the backing plate, like so. So you just take and turn the nail and then it releases, and there you have it. Comes out of the backing plate. Now there's a spring holding adjusters together down here. They make a brake spring pliers that are useful to get brake springs apart here. Now Subaru probably has their own, but this little, I think it's a Klein, not a Klein, but a, not sure of the brand. KD, it says KD on it. I've had these for years, so we're just gonna dismantle all this, and you got to remember where all your springs go. So also too, these are both the same, but a lot of them have long shoe in the rear, short shoe in the front. So this particular model does not have that, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to set all this stuff aside, so I'm not worried about hitting it with a hammer. I bet they make some sort of puller for this. Yeah, it might have. Let's get some PB Blaster in there. If nothing more, it'll drip on me while I'm laying under there. So I'm going to see if I can hit on this from the back. I'll do the old switcheroo on my creeper here. Switcheroo. All right, so what I'm going to do, I don't know if I'll be able to get away with this or not. Okay folks, what I'm going to try here is, this is the new bearing, that's the old bearing obviously. I'm going to take and use the bolts. Now they go in there until they're about flush on the back side of this knob here. So if I take them and just back them out enough to try to get this to move out of there, I'm going to take and try and hit this with the air chisel and this pointer to try and get that to just budge out a little bit, so we can get some penetrating oil behind there, all of that. So let's see how this goes. Did it move?
Not much.
At all?
Yeah.
It did move?
Not much.
It moved a little?
Barely.
Wow. Trying to think how I could pull that out of there. Wow. You want to watch a video on it? Okay folks, so there's a 10mm bolt back here that holds in the ABS sensor, and we want to get that out of there. Just a 10mm bolt, and it goes through a plastic housing here. You might have to just bump it back and forth a little bit to get it out of there without it breaking. And this is what it looks like. So I'll just put this up there in my concrete wire so it's out of the way. I gotta pry on that somehow. Okay folks, what I'm going to try here is to get this wedge chisel behind here, get a little pressure on it, and then hit on it. Sometimes I've taken the whole assembly off and put it in the press and done it that way as well. Okay folks, so I've been to the Home Depot, I've been online. They make pullers for this. The cheapest one is about $79. I guess maybe I saw it for $69, but for the most part, I've come up with this. These are just 2 1/2-inch bolts by 5-inch, fully threaded. They're not grade 8 or anything like that. They're nothing spectacular. I've also heard it recommended that you leave the nut on to shock this enough, and then you can loosen it afterwards. Otherwise, you wind up pulling the hub out. So, in an attempt to prevent that from happening, that's what I'm doing there. What I've got here is 3 bolts, and I'm going to try to put some pressure on this hub. I've knocked the studs out, and all you do to knock the studs out is you just hammer them out, but you wind up ruining the end unless you leave a nut on them. So, in which case you can also ruin them that way too. I've seen that happen as well, but you're not quite as apt to that way. So with this situation here, what I'm going to do is I've threaded a nut all the way on the back of this flange after I removed the stud. I put these bolts in there like that. There's 3 of them here. One doesn't really line up very well, so I'm just hoping it's going to be just something to sturdy it up. I'm not going to use it to pull with, I don't think. But you just hold the back nut and screw in the bolt, And everything's gone all wonky here, but nevertheless, I'm gonna try to now they're bending. Did we accomplish anything? It doesn't look it. Wow. It looks like it might have moved a little. What a hot mess. Okay, folks, so I got this bearing to move, and how I did that is by driving the punch in right here, just right down tight below where the caliper bolts on. And I got it to move. So look down below here, I can see a gap forming there. Get the punch in there. Chisel, I mean. Try to get this one moving down here as well. Yeah, there it is. It's coming now. Wow. Of course, this mud flap. Okay, so I've seen it come out there. Man, stuck. Alrighty then. There we go. All right. Wow. That thing did not want to come out of there, folks. It's moving. Wow. Wow. That made me earn every bit of it. And now we're gonna have to clean the mating surface there. What I've done here is I've just taken a pipe fitting cleaning brush and cut the handle off and just put it on my drill here. To try and clean this area. So it's not uncommon for items like this to seize up when you live in the Rust Belt. So those of you that don't live in the Rust Belt, this is what we deal with on a regular basis. It's because they use salt on the roads to keep people from having accidents and that sort of thing. So big highway safety thing to use salt on the roads. And it's no wonder that thing was rusted in there. Yeah, that's all still good. That's good. Good news here. Okay folks, I'm just taking a little bit of sand cloth here to try and minimize the bind up. Okay folks, so this little cleaning here, and then what I'm going to do, see the surface here looks pretty decent. I'm going to show it some love with anti-seize, because if I ever have to do this again, I don't want to be fighting it like I did this time. Clean this area as well. All right. So, you want to get your bolts in. Coat all these bolts. All right, now folks, I just want to start start all 4 of these together before I start drawing anything tight, just so we make sure they thread up well. There we go, that started, I think. There we go, that one started as well. Get them all started here, and then we'll go around, do the round robin with them. There you go, that one started as well. So all 4 are started. I'm just going to keep going in a star pattern here to draw them down. So this comes in square into its resting place. It's going in a lot easier than it came out, I'll tell you that. With ease compared to what it came out. Alright folks, so that's in there. Now I'm going to put the nut on. Okay folks, on Google, according to the hub mount bolts are 48 foot-pounds, the lug nut torque is 89 foot-pounds, and the axle nut torque is 177 foot-pounds. Let's see if my torque wrench goes up to that. So this tops out at 150. Nine. 159. All right. Let me see what we got here. Okay, now. Oh yeah, that's there. That's there. Okay, there's that. I want to pitch this over before we forget. Alright, now 48 foot-pounds. For the axle hub assembly. All right. All right, folks, so I'm going to reinstall the ABS sensor. It goes right in. Okay, that's just the ABS sensor goes in with a 10 millimeter bolt. I'm just going to put a little anti-seize on there to because we are in the Rust Belt and we do want to prevent nightmarish auto repairs if we can. This doesn't need to be super tight, just it's plastic, so that's all you need for that one. Brake shoes. So this is the front, this is the rear. That'll go like that. Put this in here like this. Okay, so that's how that goes, like that. And get this up here like this. Get the brake, just pull up on the brake like that, the brake spring for the parking brake, and just slide it in like that. Then you go like this, and this will sit here. These are just like nails with the end smashed down. I'm getting this one set in here because I need something to hold the brakes up so I can have my hands free. Okay, folks, so you just get your pliers just right and do a twisty turny there. Same goes for the other side. Get that in there like that. Just set your pliers in there. Just give them a little push. We'll be ready to grab that nail thing. You got to kind of hold your mouth right for that one. Tongue-in-cheek, Charlie Brown style. And from what I'm looking at here, this goes like this. How do I know that? The bar behind here slides into this so it can extend it when you push on the parking brake. So this is controlled by that little arm behind there. And it just sits in there like this. You got to kind of shuck it around a little bit, get it to set in there right. The spring for that is this one. How do I know that? Because I only have one of those. It goes here. Like this. Like so. Okay. Now these go like this. that. There you are, folks. Just gotta hold your mouth right on that one. And you want to move your brakes around a little bit, make sure they're settled into where they got to be. Okay, folks, so this little rubber plug here just pops out of there. That's so you can adjust your brakes after you get your brakes on there. Your rotor. So you can adjust the brakes after you get your rotor on there. I'm going to put a little anti-seize around here because we live in the Rust Belt once again. Things like to get hooked up and not come apart around here. So what I'm going to do is, what I want to do is adjust the parking brake. Get in that little wheel there. Oh, that's good and tight now. So you want to back that off now. Oh, perfect. Give you one more. Starting to rub now. All right. Okay. Okay, now folks, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up after myself a little bit. And these are new drums, folks, so they're fairly trouble-free. Brand new drums, or rotor drums. Alright, now get this back on here. So in all that hammering, shoot, the pads jumped out of there. So I just got to guide them back down in there. There we go. Give them a little nudge. And just, there we go. Now, okay, folks, so these are the caliper hold down bolts. And being in the Rust Belt, we're gonna show them some love here. Click, Northwind garage torque. Okay. Lug nut torque, 89 foot-pounds. Really? Alright, gotta take the jack stand out, folks. Okay. Fire for effect. That's no longer a loose wheel bearing. Okay, there you have it, folks. 2014 Subaru Outback right rear wheel bearing assembly. Northwind Garage, peace out, and God bless you.